बैड एक्टिंग नहीं है, ये बैड राइटिंग है। उसी वजह से क्या होता है, दिस अदर कैरेक्टर्स फील डम एंड एवरीथिंग कम्स लिंक्ड इंटरलिंक्ड विथ ईच एंड एवरी अदर एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ फिल्म मेकिंग. Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Srinath. I'm a filmmaker. I write screenplays, stories, and I direct. I handle some other departments in film, especially cinematography. I know a little bit more about cinematography, so I can understand that. I have a full-time job to support filmmaking. That's the sad part of my life. Right now, I'm doing a recording in the night so that there are no voices around. Previously, I have done a video and that got really good response from friends, and that video is not really viral or anything else. Where I have reviewed the filmy Indian Diksha Sharma. She's not up to the mark. She's not a trustworthy person. Anyhow, if something is there, please let me know in the comments so that I can understand you people properly, because I don't get any comments. This is a fairly new channel. I'm trying to develop this one. I'm learning, you can say. I'm an aspiring filmmaker. I need to learn a lot of things in filmmaking. Right now I'm doing the same thing, doing full-time job and part-time job with the filmmaking. So today we are going to review some other reviewers, and let's see how it goes. Okay. Tried and refused productions I have given, suggested by many people, mostly my filmy friends. They said me to review this one. Tried and refused productions. I think I have also watched some of his other videos where he explains everything very detailedly. Let's see. Patan, I have not seen Patan, so I don't need. I'll see Mission Majnu. Let's see.
Siddharth Malhotra really made a lasting impression on audiences as well as critics with his performance and dedication to the role as Vikram Batra in Sher Shah. It almost felt like vindication for the man who is justifiably criticized for his lack of range as an actor despite his sincerity for the job. With the underwhelming and forgettable performance in Thank You, it seemed like Mission Majnu would be more in Siddharth's wheelhouse of an understated raw agent on a mission rather than an expressive and quirky commercial pitch. This movie was initially slated to release in theatres, but the producers later decided it was best fit for a digital release on Netflix. A film that was being hyped by so-called trade analysts, promising Siddharth Malhotra fans that it will break their hearts, and how if this movie released in theatres, it would have been such a blockbuster. Mission Majnu focuses on the developments that take place after the 1971 war between India and Pakistan.
By the way, his language is top notch. I don't know, brother, whether you are writing and reading the script or you are telling directly, but whatever it is, you are nailing it.
Following the defeat, Pakistan plans on developing a nuclear bomb in order to act as a direct threat to India and the world. Amandeep Ajitpal Singh, played by Siddharth Malhotra, is assigned to go undercover so that he can identify the location of the nuclear bomb facility as well as understand the intention of the Pakistani forces. Posing as Tariq Ali, how the raw agent assimilates within society in Pakistan and extracts information for the sole intention of succeeding in his mission for India, the lapses in which will have catastrophic consequences, forms the basic storyline of Mission Majnu. Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch it on Netflix or not. Sincerity of the relationship and music. One of the most abrupt features of this film is that the makers expect you to be fully invested in a romantic relationship within the first few minutes of the film. There is literally no setup, and you just warm up to watch this movie and a romantic track goes in full swing, discussing concepts of marriage, and you don't even have an idea of who or why they are attracted to one another. Despite the abrupt nature with which the romantic relationship between Tariq and Nasreen develops, one of the only sincere qualities of Mission Majnu is the relationship between these characters after marriage, especially when you start to focus on how they interact with one another in their household and the way they care for one another. In the otherwise unintentionally funny portrayal of the mission at hand, it seems to be the only grounded aspect of the film. Rashmika seems to have worked on her Hindi diction, her delivery being far more natural than the one we saw in Goodbye. Siddharth, while absolutely faltering in sequences where he is supposed to be undercover, shines the most in the love that he has for his wife. There is a beautiful sequence in the climax as Siddharth gives comfort to Rashmika and the song Rabba Janda plays in the background. The Majnu aspect of the film is intact, but sadly not so much when it comes to the mission at hand. The other admirable quality about the film is its music, but the sad reality to deal with is that the movie doesn't know how to integrate it in the screenplay. A soulful and pride-filled track sung by Sonu Nigam titled Maati Ko Maa Kehte Hain should have had the desired impact, but the lack of emotional depth in the film does a disservice to the otherwise beautiful music. caricaturish portrayal of Pakistanis and barely assimilating. One of the most unintentionally funny portrayals in this film is Siddharth Malhotra being undercover in the movie. The excessive use of complex Urdu, almost as if in a mehfil in regular conversations, would alarm anyone, but the coal eyes, skull cap on the head, and starting off the first scene with Allah ka shukr hai, chacha jaan, and humne sifarish ki hai, the lihaz hilariously never stops. Sentences like khana lazeez bana hai and Allah Taala ka shukr hai and kaam mein mashroof carry on, making you also wonder why you never hear Pakistani commentators ever sounding like this. This makes the assimilation of
One thing is that it's a story world problem where excessive Urdu has been used to stay portray it's the story has been happening in Pakistan. One thing we have to understand: this story is happening in 1970s, some that period before Pakistan became nuclear state. Anyhow, I don't know what kind of language they used to speak at the time, whether it's a complex Urdu or I don't know. But that point, whatever he is saying is absolutely true because there is one saying by the director. I'll put it down on screen somewhere else. Hold your audience to the throat and don't let it go until the film is complete. It means that grab your attention of the audience and don't ever let it go. अगर ऑडियंस को या व्यूअर को समझ में आता है कि ये इसमें क्या लॉजिक है, if they started finding the logic in it, people are going to disconnect from the movie. So these small minute details are very much important for a filmmaker because the devil lies in the details and it's very hard because जब फिल्म बनती है it's very large scale में होते रहते हैं. There are like hundreds of people working, script supervisor होते हैं, dialogue supervisor होते हैं, everything has been revised and dialogue बोलने के तरीके even बोलने के time पे भी पता नहीं. But the end product comes somewhere different क्योंकि editing table पे जब जाता है तो what we have shot that was completely is totally different from what the original plan is. Sometimes it's अच्छा भी बनता है, sometimes बुरा भी बनता है. We don't never know that. But this aspect, क्योंकि थोड़ा we are staying in 2023 and this story is happening 1970s. But anyhow, इसमें just like he said, the setup was very simple and doing थोड़ा spy drama कम, थोड़ा romance drama ज़्यादा, बीच बीच में ऐसा ऐसा हुआ. The impact कहीं तो miss हुआ जैसा लगा. And it's true. I think whatever he is telling. Let's see what else he has to say.
Siddharth as a raw agent even more difficult because from the crowd, he stands out like a sore thumb in attempting to create an impression with his surroundings, almost too eager to extract information. This is largely different from the believable and subtle portrayal in a film like Razi, where you understand why people did not bat an eyelid with Sehmat for so long. In this case, however, one could easily track who is not a part of the regular society. The portrayal of
This is exactly whatever this is true. This is a story world problem. Razi, I have watched Razi also. That is a beautiful movie where जो realistically लगता है क्योंकि whatever the language, the way they speak, the way they communicate and the story हो रहा है, and sometimes even कभी कभी ये होता है, if there is gripping action happening on the screen, तो often डायलॉग को इग्नोर किया जाता है क्योंकि देर इज़ लॉट ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन नीड टू बी प्रोसेस्ड बाय द ऑडियंस. अगर दो बार या तीन बार देखने के बाद दे विल पॉइंट आउट, बट इन मिशन मजनू दे हैव पॉइंटेड इट फॉर वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम. आई थिंक दिस इज़ अ प्रॉब्लम यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड, वी शुड अंडरस्टैंड एज अ फिल्म मेकर्स. एंड क्या है इसमें और that this is a classic story world problem. If you want to understand what is story world, I have a video and which I have done about Christopher Nolan, how he writes the stories. Please go check it and you will understand what is a story world.
Siddharth as a Sardar probably being the poorest of the lot, clearly showcasing someone playing a role versus doing what agents do best and be a part of the crowd. Admirable action but lacking production quality. One of the most interesting aspects of films is when the production companies feel that it's better suited for an OTT platform, and when I saw the scale at which the action was being presented in Mission Majnu, it became clear to me that it did not offer the scale that is meant for the big screen. This may have been the biggest call taken by the makers because the stakes in the action set pieces never get too high. Other than an interesting action choreography that takes place in and on top of the train, you can really not boast about about their covert missions putting you on the edge of your seat. The methods in which information is also extracted sometimes is performed at such a loud pitch. For example, Siddharth playing a tailor fixing a brigadier's uniform. Siddharth is trying to ask about the nuclear bombs and their location, and the army man never bats an eyelid. One walks past a hill which is definitely not meant for regular citizens and distracts incompetent Pakistani officers with a bakri. This is why I reiterate that Mission Majnu gets mostly the Majnu aspect on point, but my god, is the mission not as smart as the makers presume it to be. Unintentionally funny politicians and agents. The portrayal of the Pakistani politicians and the intelligence agencies is absolutely hilarious. The ISI only gets the news of developments in India through the news rather than their sources. Rajat Kapoor is on a hamming spree as Bhutto. The meeting conducted with him, he states Pakistan nuclear bomb bana ke rakhega, and immediately followed by having a bite of chocolate cake.
This one thing I have seen it so many times. जब पिक्चर हिट हो जाती है देन द एक्टर्स आर क्रेडिटेड सो मच, जब फ्लॉप हो जाती है उतना ही बुरा बेइज्जती की कर जाती है उनके बारे में एंड उनका वर्क के बारे में. सी व्हाट हैपेंस इज व्हेन यू गो ऑन टू द साइट एंड यू आर गिवन दिस पार्ट फॉर लाइक फ्यू डेज एंड वो बहुत सारे लोग बहुत बिजी शेड्यूल में रहते हैं, and when they read the script and they'll try to do the justice as whatever the script has been given. So if the script was not planned and not detailed and अच्छी तरीके से लिखा नहीं गया, then the discredit is also actor जो भी परफॉर्म कर रहे हो उनको उतना ज़्यादा स्कोप नहीं रहता. जब भी कैरेक्टर को लिखते हैं there should be इंटरनल स्ट्रगल एंड एन एक्सटर्नल स्ट्रगल. एक्सटर्नल स्ट्रगल क्या होता है? एक्सटर्नल एक गोल रहता है, जैसा कि in the movie, let's say Mission Majnu. In the Mission Majnu, his external goal is to collect the information. The internal goal is जो उनकी वाइफ है रश्मि मंदाना इन द फिल्म, उनको उनके साथ ज़िंदगी जीना. These are the two conflicts रन होते रहते हैं. एंड ऑफन जब फिल्म बनती है तो only for the few people both internal struggle and internal goal and external goal is written, but not for the all characters. And उसी वजह से क्या होता है, this other characters feel dumb and वो impact नहीं देते. But for जो भी सक्सेसफुल फिल्म्स है, इवन फॉर द स्मॉल कैरेक्टर्स आल्सो दीज डिटेल्स आर रिटन. इंटरनल गोल क्या है, एक्सटर्नल गोल क्या है, उनका मोटिव्स क्या है, एंड व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, व्हाट आर दे प्लानिंग, एवरीथिंग इज़ वेरी मच डिटेलली रिटन. एटलीस्ट नहीं लिखा गया तो भी उसके बारे में वी विल अंडरस्टैंड विथ इंटेलिजेंट राइटिंग. सो दिस क्रेडिट थोड़ा अगर मिशन मजनू फेल हो गया तो इट इज़ लाइक लिटिल बिट बैड रेटिंग बोल सकते हैं, बिकॉज रेस्ट ऑफ द पार्ट they have, I mean like उतना बैड भी नहीं है. दिस मूवी आई हैव सीन इट, दिस इज़ वन टाइम वॉच एंड नॉट उतना बुरा नहीं है. एज अ फिल्म मेकर आई गिव टेंड टू गिव लिटिल बिट बेटर रेटिंग, बट एज एन ऑडियंस इफ यू सी दैट उसमें बहुत सारे गलतियाँ ढूंढ सकते हैं. जैसा कि इन्होंने कहा है कि एक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो गया एंड बहुत आसानी से उनके बारे में समझ आ जाती है. जनरल सेइंग टॉकिंग टू ए टेलर अबाउट समथिंग सीक्रेट मिशन विच आई थिंक इन रियल लाइफ में ऐसा होता ही नहीं है. एंड I don't think इसमें whatever he is trying to tell, he is trying to explain it very in a detailed way, and उनकी language बहुत अच्छा है. I really appreciate that. I should also learn language skills like him.
Zakir Hussain as well joins the party of just constantly shouting and berating Siddharth throughout the film. While his actions have some reasoning, he doesn't even fear blowing his cover while Siddharth keeps on reminding him, "Sir, protocol." I think one of the main reasons why the stakes never get too high in the mission is because the movie takes the comedic route in getting the mission completed. You've got Kumud Mishra pretending to be a
there is also one more thing he has said, some characters portraying comedic way and some characters portraying in a very strict way. See, if the story is not weaved properly, the basic rules जो भी है कैरेक्टर को जब लिखा जाता है उस रूल्स को फॉलो नहीं किए, एंड ऑफन क्या होता है दे ट्राई टू क्या बोलता है, इट कैन बी जस्ट लाइक सेइंग मल्टी जॉनर फिल्म एक ही साथ बना रहे होते हैं. थोड़ा सा कॉमेडी, थोड़ा सा सीरियसनेस, थोड़ा सा ये सब बनाने के चक्कर में क्या होता है, ऑफन बिकॉज ऑफ द स्मॉल डिटेल्स एंड माइन्यूट थिंग्स दोज थिंग्स गेट फेलियर. अगर वो फेल हो जाते हैं तो बहुत बुरा क्रिटिसिज्म मिलता है. एंड दिस इज़ द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ दैट जो बता रहे हैं कि दिस इज़ जस्ट बैड राइटिंग, नॉट क्या बोलते हैं, बैड एक्टिंग नहीं है, ये बैड राइटिंग है. एंड जब बैड राइटिंग होता है तो बैड एक्टिंग भी बन जाती है वो ऑटोमेटिकली. सो आई डोंट थिंक इसमें एक्टर्स को उतना आई मीन लाइक स्कोप नहीं है. एंड देर इज दिस, उनको बहुत छोटा छोटा रोल्स रहता है. बहुत छोटा छोटा रोल्स में क्या होता है, एंड इन दिस फिल्म देर इज़ वन अदर स्पाई, उनका डेथ हो जाती है. उतना इम्पैक्टफुल नहीं रहता क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स वो उनके आई मीन लाइक वॉट एवर हिज बैक हिस्ट्री उसके बारे में नहीं बताया गया. सो क्या होता है, कैरेक्टर के बारे में हमें पूरा पता नहीं चलता है कि व्हाट इज़ हैपनिंग विथ हिम, व्हाट इज़ हैपनिंग इन हिज ओन लाइफ. सो हम लोग उतना ज़्यादा कनेक्ट नहीं कर. देयर इज़ वन थिंग कॉल्ड एम्पैथी. एम्पैथी, सिंपैथी नहीं, एम्पैथी. एम्पैथी की मतलब उस कैरेक्टर को जानना एंड उस कैरेक्टर को जस्टिफाई करना होता है एम्पैथी. So I previously made a video about empathy, but it has been taken down due to copyright reasons, and later on I didn't try that. In coming days, if at all I get chance, I'll write about empathy. And Arjun Reddy is the master class in building empathy with the audience, and I don't know how he did it, and still far I couldn't figure it out, but it's what it is.
Major in one sequence and Sharib Hashmi mostly being there for comedic relief. It doesn't suit well with the gravity of the situation at hand. A more serious tonality would have probably had a better impact. Mission Majnu eventually turns into an average spy thriller which could have been elevated if the portrayal
like I have said, the other spy who is working with Sid, उनका उतना इम्पैक्ट नहीं रहता है मोस्टली इस कॉमेडिक वर्जन. दिस इज़ द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ बैड राइटिंग रादर दैन बैड एक्टिंग. क्योंकि जब ये एवरीथिंग कम्स लिंक्ड, इंटरलिंक्ड विथ ईच एंड एवरी अदर एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ फिल्म मेकिंग, लाइक कंस्ट्रक्टिंग ए बिल्डिंग बेस्ड ऑन द ग्राउंड फ्लोर. आपको बेसमेंट अच्छा बनाना पड़ता है, देन पिलर्स, देन स्लैब, देन वॉल्स, देन द एक्सटीरियर स्ट्रक्चर, देन द फाइनल प्रोडक्ट आता है. उसी तरीके से एवरीथिंग कम्स. स्क्रीन प्ले ज़्यादा नहीं खड़ा होगा. अगर स्क्रीन प्ले सही नहीं है तो क्या बनाना वो भी समझ में नहीं आएगा. देन अगर क्या बनाना समझ में नहीं आया तो बुरी बैक्टिंग आ जाएगी. जब ये सारा मिक्स होता है हमेशा, जब but as far as I'm concerned, every step need to be planned and prepared, and क्या उसके बारे में बहुत चेक करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, सो दैट द प्रोडक्ट बिकम्स रियली अ गुड प्रोडक्ट. ऑडियंस उसको पसंद करते हैं. एंड दीज थिंग्स एज अ फिल्म मेकर वी शुड रियली टेक केयर ऑफ इट. एंड ऑडियंस उसको बहुत बुरा जज करेंगे. दिस इज़ वॉट क्लासिक एग्जाम्पल ऑफ दैट. एंड दे ट्राइड देयर बिट, बट उसमें थोड़ा राइटिंग का प्रॉब्लम है, एंड थोड़ा व्हाट डू यू से एक्टर से भी प्रॉब्लम है, एंड द वे इट हैज़ बिन टेकन, एडिटिंग जो करें, इस सारा सीरियल में आते रहता है. एवरीबडी, आई थिंक एवरीबडी इज़ प्रोफेशनल इन दिस. जो टेक्निकल काम कर रहे हैं, राइटर, स्क्रीन राइटर्स हो, या लेट्स सी हु इज़ द स्क्रीन राइटर्स फॉर मिशन मजनू. Mission Majnu writers. इसमें राइटर्स के बारे में नहीं लिखा गया. लेट्स सी. कास्ट, या प्रोड्यूस्ड, रिटन बाय असीम अरोरा, सुमित बतेजा, परवेज शेख. Parvez Sheikh, I don't know who these people are. I have never read about them. Let's see, let's Google about these people. What else they have done? Asim Arora, yes. Who are you? He has written Heroes, which is 5.7, and Kya Dilli Kya Lahore, which is 2000, written in 2014, which is also 7.3 IMD rating. POW Bandi Yudh Ke, this is 110 episodes. This is 8.7 and also written by Asim Arora, and he has written dialogues for writer Freddy. Mugbir, the story of spy, 8 episodes. That Mugbir bhi acha hai, I think you can see that. Mugbir mein the story development is really good. And Katputli I have not watched. एक film written Snow. Bell Bottoms देखा मैंने. ठीक है, उतना एक्स्ट्रॉर्डनरी नहीं है दैट वन ऑल्सो. बाजार नो, सरफरोश, लखनऊ सेंट्रल नो, डायलॉग स्क्रीन प्ले एंड डायलॉग, गुड्डू इंजीनियर नो, फुलवा वगैरह हो. I didn't see any of those things, but he's a seasoned writer. And उनको विनर क्या दिल्ली क्या लो, बेस्ट स्क्रीन प्ले एंड फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड नॉमिनी, बेस्ट स्टोरीज, इंडियन टेलीविजन अकेडमी अवार्ड्स, बेस्ट टेली प्ले फॉर 21 सरफरोज सराग्राही 1897, बेस्ट स्टोरी POW बंदी युद्ध के. आई थिंक असीम अरोरा हैज़ डन, अच्छा काम किया उन्होंने. एंड कई बार ये गलतियाँ हो सकती हैं बिकॉज ऑफ सो मेनी थिंग्स हैपनिंग. एंड जब फाइनल डिसीजन जो भी ले रहे हैं उस टाइम पे दिस मिस्टेक कुड बी लेड टू दैट. ही इज़ नॉट एन एमेचर. लेट्स सी हु द अदर गाइस आर. सुमित बतीजा. हु इज सुमित बतीजा? Sumit Batija. Let's see his IMDb page. He has also written for Attack, writer, Bhoot Police, 7.0 IMDb, writer, Jug Geo, writer, and previously he has written officially Gentleman, Bhoot Police, Attack, Jug Geo, and he has also done around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 films and 1 TV miniseries. So he's also a seasoned writer. Yeah. Then coming to the third person, Parvez Sheikh. Come on, Parvez Sheikh. IMDb. Queen, Bajrangi Bhaijaan, Mission Majnu, Darlings. So Queen and Bajrangi Bhaijaan both are really good films. Bazaar, Bell Bottom, Darlings, dialogue, screenplay, Freddy screenplay. मैंने आधा देखा Freddy film. I mean like just 20 minutes of that one. So far it is really good. Raja Natwarlal I have not seen. Bajrang Bhai it's really good. Phantom I have not seen. ट्यूबलाइट देखा है, ठीक है, दैट्स नॉट अ रियली ग्रेट वर्क ऑफ हिम. सो ही इज़ ऑल्सो ए सीजन राइटर एंड ही नोज ऑल दोज थिंग्स. बट कहीं जगह दिस इज़ द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ मल्टीपल थिंग्स. इट्स नॉट वन प्लेस. स्टोरी भी होगा, स्टोरी वर्ल्ड डेवलपमेंट भी होगा, स्क्रीन प्ले भी होगा. स्क्रीन प्ले इज़ टाइट, स्क्रीन प्ले के बारे में नहीं बोल सकते. जो इनपुट मिलता है उसके बेस पे स्क्रीन प्ले लिखा जाता है. सो I like to give little bit better for the screenplay. Dialogue department थोड़ा कम हो सकता है क्योंकि ऑडियंस जस्ट नो ट्राइड एंड रिफ्यूज प्रोडक्शन सेट दैट उनका डायलॉग थोड़ा एग्जैजरेट हो गया है. उर्दू डायलॉग्स एक्सट्रीमली यूज़ किए गए हैं. So that's a negative point. So they should not never recognize this, because if we are good, then the audience won't recognize that one. Okay, and let's see और कौन कौन है मिशन मजनू में. शांतनु बागची इज़ द डायरेक्टर. लेट्स सी व्हाट हिज वर्क इज. I think this is the debut feature film of Shantanu sir. Okay, fair. He has done his job really good because बहुत सारे फ्लॉस रहते हैं एंड इट्स अ वेरी टफ जॉब टू बी ए डायरेक्टर बिकॉज बहुत सारी चीज़ होते रहते हैं एंड यू आर द पर्सन फर्स्ट जजमेंट जो देते हो. देर आर मेनी प्लेसेस वेयर हाउ टू क्या बोलते ब्लॉकिंग कैसे करना है एंड हाउ द लुक शुड बी, हाउ द म्यूजिक शुड बी, एवरीथिंग शुड बी डिसाइडेड बाय द डायरेक्टर. सो उतना बुरा फिल्म नहीं है जो जितना लग रहा है. It's also a one-time watchable movie and he has done a decent job. I think क्या बोलते we might see best films in coming days from Shantanu sir. Let's hope for the good. Okay, let's move on. And मैंने ज़्यादा बात कर दिया इसके बारे में. Next. Review. I don't want to say. टीज़र एंड ट्रेलर्स आर जस्ट इंफॉर्मेशन जो लोगों को अट्रैक्ट करने के लिए. इट्स अ मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटजी, प्योर एंड प्योर मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटजी. थोड़ा बहुत अपना प्रोडक्ट दिखा के देन दे आर आस्किंग ऑडियंस टू कम एंड वॉच द फिल्म इन द थिएटर्स. It's I want a little bit more reviewers to be more educated. They should know